That song is 4 More Weeks by the band Vans in Japan, and I actually like their music. It is Sunday afternoon, 2:18 in the afternoon. It is raining. Nick and I went, and he had a late breakfast, and I had what I consider an early lunch. And then we went to the dam at Fun Valley. It's not flowing over yet. I'll check it tomorrow. Hopefully it will be. While we were out, we took Linda's car, her Navigator. Nick changed out the fuel pressure gauge in one of the coil packs, and it seems to idle pretty good, but at about 45-50 miles an hour it starts vibrating. And so with Nick with me, he hears better than I do, definitely. So he suggested it might be wheel bearings going out, because I believe my son Chris properly did the universal joints. We did go up at a flat place at the end of our road and check the transmission fluid. It was a quart low. I put a quart in. However, the thing is, I did some internet research, and everything I could find indicates that Linda's car needs new front wheel bearings. They're not real expensive, but we're going to wait until next weekend when Nick's off to put them in. I told him today we're not working on the car, son. It's raining. I'm going to do this vlog, get it uploaded, then I'm going to go in the house and get ready to watch stuff with my sweetheart. Oh. Fresh and clean. What I need to do is leave this one out here and take the nasty one in and put it in the dirty clothes. I've got clean ones my wife laundered for me. I've also got clean overalls. These are not clean. It's raining right now. You can probably hear the pitter-patter of rain hitting the metal roof above me. I'm in a very lazy mood today. I have to go back to actual work tomorrow. And I'll do it when I do it, you know. I mean, it's, I do intend to film water going over the dam. I think after today it probably will. We've got some heavy rain coming. See it when it gets here. And if it gets to the point we lose the internet, which I did in here a minute ago, it comes and goes. It's due to moisture. Used to, every time it'd rain, we'd lose electricity, we'd lose the internet. We have 2 generators now. Woo, excuse me. And so that's not going to be a problem, and we got a boatload of videos we could watch. Anyway, I have not checked headlines today. I don't intend to. This is going to be my official day off this week. Had a pretty good Friday, a pretty good Saturday. I'm going to have a good Sunday. I woke up this morning dreaming about my late father visiting me and telling me I needed to look up the Seven Sisters gold mine and A Lost Race of Blonde People by Bridal Veil Falls. So when I got up and in the morning I go to the restroom, went in and sat down on the toilet, and I had my phone with me, and I tried looking up Bridal Veil Falls on my phone. It wouldn't do it. When I finally got in the house and got on a computer and went online, there's 4 different places in America that there are Bridal Veil Falls, and just a ton of them outside of the United States. Well, I'm not going to be looking that up, and I think it was just a dream. And I don't believe my earthly father ever knew the story of the Seven Sisters gold mine. That is a gold mine that supposedly was here in southern Oklahoma, right in our area. A person could take a topographical map and find the gold mine supposedly by looking at 7 mountains here locally that are right in a row. I've not done so. I used to think about it. I'm not interested. You know, that sounds really stupid. My Daddy was obsessed with treasure hunting. Now I need to clarify something for my siblings that are watching this. I had a talk with our daddy one time about that, and it wasn't that he wanted to find a big treasure. He loved finding things, especially forgotten things. When we were living in Farmington, New Mexico, Dad, we would load up. We had a Volkswagen. My brother Chris and I would sit in the back seat, and it had a fold-down back seat that a lot of times Daddy would fold down, and we'd carry a blanket, and Chris and I would take a nap in the back of that thing. My mother, Peggy Modine Lance, later Peggy Sewell, would make Vienna sausage sandwiches. All that they were white bread, Miracle Whip salad dressing, and sliced Vienna sausages. And I still like those. I just don't eat them very often. But it was high adventure. And we would travel, and one day Daddy was driving along, and he looked over and he saw a square corner sticking out of the side of the ground, kind of like a pyramid, more or less, you know, 3-sided with a point. And he stopped that Volkswagen and turned around, and we drove back to where that he'd noticed it, and we'd gotten a mile or so down the road, and he turned that car around. We went back, and Daddy always carried a foxhole shovel. On those old Volkswagen Beetles, the trunk was in the front. The gas tank was in the front. And they used a 4-cylinder, no radiator, 4-cylinder motor that German engineering. You had to adjust the carburetor on it depending on your altitude. Well, our father knew how to do that, so he'd adjust it for elevation and for cold. But we drove back, he stopped, and he dug out an actual dwelling in the side of that hill. It took him about 3 hours of hard digging. He got in there and he found a bunch of pots, Navajo pottery. And he loaded us up, and there were some old kachina dolls in a couple of the pots. If you don't know what a kachina is, it's a representation of spirits the Navajo worship, or did. So he drove back to a trading post, and he traded those pots and got him some money, and he also got 4 Navajo dolls, handmade Navajo dolls, that he gave to my mother. And when my parents got a divorce, Mom got those dolls. She got some artwork he had. She got some furniture, antique furniture. Then she married a guy named Sam. I'm not going to go into his complete name. Y'all have heard me talk about him. Well, when my mother died, my earthly mother died, and my brother Chris and one of my sons and I went back to my mom's house, those dolls were gone. He wouldn't let me have a 17th century glass-topped night table, that nightstand that Mom intended for me to have. My brother Chris didn't get the artwork she intended him to have. So the only reason Sam acquiesced to letting Chris get a baby grand piano is he didn't want to have to move it. It wasn't long after my mother died they sold their house. But, you know, that's a little bit of history, and I'm not going to get morbid about my mother's death or her husband basically cheating my brother and I out of things. I'm not going to get into that today. It's not the time or the place. The time and place is forthcoming. However, the thing I was thinking about that I was relaying to my brothers and sister that are watching this is our father was a smart person. And the obsession with finding treasure wasn't about getting rich. You know, I've seen Daddy at times when he had a lot of money help anybody and everybody. Money was not a huge concern of his. He walked in a different world than most people. Most people, their primary connection with the world is how much they can acquire. It's money. Our daddy didn't roll that way. He had a lot on him, but he helped a lot of people. I've seen him go out of his way to help people, and he really did most of his life. Think about a guy that was 11 years old using a .22 rifle and feeding his grandmother and drunken grandfather because the grandfather was too lazy to go do anything to help feed them. So our dear old dad won a .22 rifle throwing newspapers for the Daily Oklahoma newspaper. Now hang on a second, I'm going to reach up on the wall and get that rifle and show it to you. This is the rifle. It's carved up, He notched it for everything he shot. Little marks for squirrels, bigger marks for rabbits, and X's for deer. As far as I can tell, Daddy killed 3 deer with this .22 rifle. And I've killed a couple with it when I was younger. It used to have a rifle scope on it where these screws are. The scope got broken years ago. The rear sight got broken years ago, and you can't really tell it, but that front sight there is crooked. It's bent to one side. But once you figure, and I had to build a rear sight for it, once you figure out how to aim this thing, it is dead on accurate. Go. Basically, an 11-year-old boy fed his grandmother and his grandfather with that rifle. Our dad had his own apartment when he was 11 years old, 12 years old in Oklahoma City. Now, he used to tell these stories, and a lot of people would think he was just lying. He wasn't. I double-checked a lot of stuff. I got a hold of relatives on my dad's side of the family, talked to them about it. Got a hold of relatives on my mother's side that knew him before he and Mama got married, my mother. My birth mother. Now, Mom, you are my mom. You're watching this. Don't think for a minute I don't consider you such. I do. But he had a rough go of it. And was it just a dream that I had last night? I don't know that it was. I don't know that it wasn't. But I do know this. Our loved ones that have gone on before, they do visit us in dreams, and sometimes they visit us in our mind and in our heart. Their spirit connects with ours to let us know that they're still alive and they love us. That does happen. Now, I've got to get off of here. I'm going to take the rest of the day and do a whole lot of nothing. I've got to get a bath, spend time with Linda, encourage my sons and grandchildren to do a whole lot of nothing and just enjoy the day. And I got a feeling it's getting ready to start raining a lot harder, so that it gets to the point that won't be able to hear. But like that sign up there says, right there, be kind. Always be kind. Love all of you. God bless you, and bye.